Yeah, so I run the TV acquisitions department at E1, and as such, obviously E1's a big sort of studio, part of the Hasbro group, and we are internally developing our own projects and producing many big shows in the US and Canada. But I'm really there for the distribution pipeline to sort of look at what else is being produced, what other real sort of great content is being produced on the independent market that we can help invest in and distribute, and use the infrastructure that we've got really to the benefit of other producers, to not only kind of help those producers, but obviously to complement our slate and build our slate, and and sort of complement E1's kind of position as a premium distributor, with great content. So that's both in non-scripted and in scripted. And I really look all over the world for that content, and we're territory agnostic and we're language agnostic, as the TV world has changed. So we are, we're really kind of broadly looking at, everywhere for those great programs. But I think it's what we're not doing is I'm not just going around the world like a supermarket trying to buy as much as possible just to fill the shelves. I really am trying to find the content that feels special, because we do tend to give these shows that we acquire a very dedicated spotlight, and focus on them as our own. And they are our E1 shows, and we want to give them that focus. I think generally speaking, when I'm going around anywhere, I'm looking for quality programming for a global audience. So I know from my experience the quality of television that comes out of Australia, and the writing, directing, producing, acting talent that's there. So I think it's really, I tend not to be too kind of prescriptive over when I'm going out into Australia, right, this is what I'm looking for. Because you rarely do find what you are. If that's the case, you rarely find what you are looking for. It's really just to find what is being developed out there, what's being commissioned, what's responding well with audiences. And I think because it's an English language market, it's really finding that compelling English language content that global audiences will really respond to. So, broadly speaking, it's just those really unique stories, well made, well told, that have buy-in from a broadcaster or something, something, it's not just anything, it's sort of something that actually is going to get made. We get submissions where the broadcaster is already attached, the Screen Australia application is being written, and sort of they are looking for that distribution piece. So I can put my financing plan together with all the pieces in place and knowing how that's going to be made up. Or I read projects where there is only kind of a sniff of interest as a broadcaster. And so I can go along with that, and I can read and I can say, I really liked it, or I'd be really interested in this. If you get further interest, then please let me know. Or in some instances, I can, if I get super excited about something as well, I can go the next step and say, listen, if you get broadcaster involved, I could bring X amount to the table. And then the producer can take something back to the broadcaster and say, hey, we've got distribution now. If we feel we're starting to get this sort of financed. Having that distribution partnership in place has really enabled the broadcasters to kind of go, okay, good, it's going to be real as well. Globally, it's going to be real, and there is value in doing this. I think I've seen that it's starting to mean perhaps more than it did. Usually a script and some sort of Bible type document. I can read anything at any stage, but it's if you really want my meaningful feedback and if you really want meaningful evaluation, then there are, like, I need a script. Something can meaningfully change from treatment to script, and you can't get a real sense of a project until you've read that first episode. So the more meat you can put on the bone, the better. I would prefer it to be completely packaged and I to know everything about the project, and I can completely it make my job very easy. However, I think packaging's become more important. Well, casting's become more important for us across the board. And that doesn't matter where a project comes from. But I've noticed with the Australian projects that I've been seeing, I really feel you've got some great actors in Australia, and if you can get the right ones that have a certain level of recognition internationally, whether they've led features or US TV shows or whatever, it can help raise the numbers. It just goes with, it'll make it easier for the buyers we're talking to immediately engage with the project. There's an awful lot of content on the market, and you've got to shout louder. That's the only way that things rise to the top now. And yes, a project's got to be good, and good projects, fantastic good projects on their own, find a way of rising to the top, but they find it harder to get noticed at the beginning and get the attention and the money of those buyers first off. So that's what we're trying to combat here. You can just email me, or reach out, however, it's quite easy to get hold of me. And, if I've not met you, if we've not met before, if we've not talked, we can arrange to have a chat. And I can just generally talk through the project and, find out a bit more about the state of the project. I think that's probably better than just being submitted lots of material. I prefer to have that initial conversation. I know a lot of the producers in Australia, so happy, I just think people send me things or we have a dialogue already. But if I don't know you, I'm more than happy to have a chat and talk through the project, find out a bit about that producer and what they're doing, and help give them my kind of opinion on what to do next.